Welcome back to another episode of Corpse Factory. I don't want to waste any time. I just kind of want to get straight into it because this story got me hooked by the balls, so we got to get into it. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel down below and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Also, follow my socials. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, join my Discord to keep in touch with me and the rest of my community. Those links will be in the description box down below. I'd love to have you. Enough talk. It's time to get into the next episode. Again, this is fast. We gotta go. I love this story too much. Let's get it popping. Enjoy. The convenience store is a little more crowded than usual. The mundane chatter of business people, students, and workers buzzes in the air like a swarm of relentless flies. Throughout the drone of mingled conversation, I happen to catch a few interesting words here and there.
Have you seen that one website?
Oh, they talking about that corpse girl.
What do you mean by request a death?
They talking about that corpse girl. They talking about it. We getting famous. My lips curl into a half smile, half snarl.
Since he always cheats, I thought I might upload his photo.
You gonna kill him over cheating?
And you think Corpse Girl really exists?
To hear so many people talking about Corpse Girl's website is enough to make my nerves tingle. However, I know that they're not talking about it because of Akane Tsuramaki's death. As far as I can tell, her death wasn't reported to the news as a suspicious case. The only source of information I could locate was her obituary. And that didn't mention anything about foul play, so there's no way anyone could know that Corpse Girl was involved. People are talking about the website in the same way they always have, like it's just an interesting topic of conversation, an icebreaker, one of those things you tell your friends to entertain them. And therein is my issue with the website as a topic of conversation. It's just an urban legend, a point of discussion that inevitably fizzles out and is forgotten. People talk about it, people visit the website out of curiosity, but very few people take action or request a death. Sorry, I'm scratching my fucking arm right now. I have been getting destroyed by mosquitoes. That's the part that annoys me. If people don't actively participate, how can I prove myself to the world? How can Corpse Girl claim her victims if there are no victims to be claimed? As long as the website is simply a talking point, a myth, an icebreaker, then Corpse Girl's ambitions will remain unfulfilled. To be fair, I haven't yet provided a compelling reason for people to take the website seriously. The death toll is humiliatingly low. I need to ramp it up and step up my game, for Corpse Girl's sake. Until I manage to do that, people will continue to simply discuss the website in hushed tones like it's some taboo fantasy that shouldn't be spoken of. But with some more time and some more victims, soon everyone will know to fear Corpse Girl. Thanks to the constant drone in the convenience store, I barely register the quiet melody of a ringtone. Eventually, my ears become keen enough to pick it out, and I answer my phone.
Hey. Good morning, Noriko. Is this a bad time? Not at all. I'm at the convenience store. Oh, good. I wanted to catch you before work.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You're about to start working with us.
No worries. I actually meant to call you yesterday, but the day got away from me. That's okay. I wanted to ask if you spoke to Shinya yet? I sure did. Guess what? What? You start work on Monday. You'll be doing data entry with me. We might even get to sit near each other. Oh my gosh. Really? Are you telling the truth?
I don't know why, but that just makes me happy for some reason. That just makes me happy.
Have I ever lied to you? Oh, Noriko. I'm so excited.
Oh.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
If anything happens to this girl, I'm gonna be pissed.
Does this mean I can quit the maid cafe now? Yep. Quit today if you can. Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Thank you.
This is still okay. It's still 3 weeks out, so we're good. We're good.
Allie,
We're good. We're straight.
Are you crying?
We're straight. We're straight. Ari hasn't died yet, so we're good.
I'm so happy.
Making Aoi so overwhelmingly happy feels really good. I care so much for this girl. Her happiness is vital to me.
I owe you so much. And Shinya too.
This is great. This is great. I feel good
I'll buy him a
inside.
gift to give him on my first day. Do you think he'll like that? Yeah, I'm sure he will. That's a great idea, Aoi.
Look at this picture right here. This is just fucking like. This is just like.
What does he like?
I managed to spill the answer to that without having to think twice.
Novels. Oh, really? His dad is a detective, right? Okay, I can get something like that.
Oh yeah, bro, do be talking about
Go
nothing
to
but crime
the
novels.
cafe and quit. You tell him. Good luck, kid. Okay. Bye, Noriko.
Oh, the call ends and I smile. I always sounded so happy. I'm really glad that I could help her out. My fucking arm is burning. She deserves to be happy. I barely have time to select a can of coffee from the line of refrigerated shelves before my phone rings again.
Aoi? Sorry to call again, Noriko. I just, something was bugging me. So, what's up? Did I, this is going to sound stupid. Did I thank you for getting me the job?
She's so fucking pure.
Yeah, you did. A few times, I think.
Dog, I'm gonna be heartbroken if anything happens to this woman. Oh my God.
To check. It was bothering me, and I didn't want to come off as ungrateful. So, you know what? Just to make sure. Thank you, Noriko. Okay, I'm going now, really. Bye-bye. Bye, Aoi.
Call ends in my brow furrows. That was strange, but maybe not so strange for Aoi. I guess she really wanted to be polite. I shrug it off and return to selecting my coffee for the day. That shit is, she's too pure for the world. The office atmosphere is unusually somber when I exit the elevator. There are fewer people around than normal. Some executives I rarely see on this level are hovering around in one of the glass screen cubicles to one side of the floor. I spy Shinya standing at his desk talking quietly on the phone. He's nodding and bowing a lot, despite the fact that whoever is on the other end of the call can't see him. I want to ask somebody what's going on, but nobody seems to notice me arriving. I shuffle my way to my desk and sit down. I spend some time looking over a spreadsheet of today's tasks. After going through it thoroughly, Shinya arrives in front of my desk, seemingly out of breath.
Noriko, has anyone filled you in yet?
This bitch just closed down, didn't it?
No, what's going on? Why is half the office empty?
Well, you see, somebody within the company died yesterday.
Oh, fuck.
Oh? Somebody we know?
Shinya shakes his head slowly, his expression gravely serious.
Nobody you would have interacted with. She was an exec up on the 21st floor.
Yeah.
Apparently, she never showed up yesterday, but her coworkers just assumed she was taking a personal day. People started getting the news in the afternoon. She was involved in...
Is that the... No way!
Dead?
Shinya glares at me, his narrow pupils seemingly accusing me of being tactless.
Dead.
So, I mean, I get it's a tragedy and all, but how does this
Noriko's
explain
fucking
whatever it is
crazy.
today?
You should have received an email sent out by HR this morning. Basically, everyone is being offered professional grief counseling.
Seriously?
I think some people are taking up the offer, but I suspect some other employees are using the opportunity to skip out on work.
That's usually what happens, bro.
Regardless, what happened to Miss Tsurumaki was a tragedy. So unexpected.
I blink a few times, getting ready to turn back to my computer. Miss Tsurumaki?
Wait, what was her name?
Huh? Ms. Tsurumaki. It should be in the email. She had a young daughter and everything.
Fuck.
It's really sad.
Akane Tsurumaki. Though I've never met her before, her face appears in my mind with startling clarity. Self-asphyxiation. An accident. She worked here? I can scarcely believe it. It's true that this is a massive company with thousands of employees Japan-wide, but still, for her to work in the very same building as me, it's too coincidental. It doesn't feel right. Would I have gone through with killing her if I knew she worked in my building? This scenario creates more questions than answers. The person that requested her death, do they also work here? It would have been just somebody who knows her well enough to want her dead. Odds are high that they work here as well.
You okay?
I realize that I've been spacing out and I turn back to Shinya.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking is all.
Well, grief affects us all in different ways. I think.
We not in grief.
Details for the counseling sessions are in the email. Be sure to take up the company's offer if you think it'll help. As for me, I think I'll be okay.
You don't even know this person. You just said that it was somebody we don't even interact with.
Sure, okay.
Plus, I have a date with Tomoe to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's important to look
My
at
guy.
times like these, isn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
Ugh, yeah, that's what they say.
Very well then. Do your best today, okay?
Right.
Shinya takes his leave and I let my shoulders slump. I killed someone from my office building, but I didn't know it at the time. Could my involvement be traced? No. I was careful to cover my tracks. I deleted the photos from my computer, discarded the burner's phone SIM card, and trashed the phone itself. There's no way anyone will find out I was involved. Besides, I don't even know if authorities are treating the case as a murder. As far as general information goes, it would seem like it truly is being treated as an accident. I'm in the clear. I know I am. However, I sure would like to uncover the identity of the person who requested Tsurumaki's death. The thought that it could be someone I work with makes me way too curious. Does it make you curious that you killed her? Despite work being eventful this morning, the rest of the day passed quietly. Even Tomoe kept her distance from me. I wonder if I scared her off when I casually mentioned reporting her to the police. Not that I actually would report her, that would lead to the police getting mixed up in my life, and I can't really have that considering my moonlighting occupation. Especially now that I have a connection to Tsurumaki. I brushed my hair in front of the mirror in my bedroom. I removed my makeup and revealed the ever so faint bruise on my cheek, the fading token of my fight with Tomoe. That's not a fight, you got your ass beat. Since tonight is rather cold, I decided to snuggle up under the covers in bed with my laptop. I crawl into bed and pull the plush blankets up over myself. The warmth and softness is immediately comforting, and I have to fight the urge not to fall asleep here now. To keep myself awake, I checked the requests on my website. I'm pleasantly surprised to find there are 2 new requests, 2 in one day. My heart begins to race and I quickly open the messages. The first message reads, request details, 11:14 a.m. Victim's phone, image attachment not found. No image attachment. I thought I configured the website to reject requests unless an image is attached. This is really irritating. I got my hopes up for nothing. It takes me a second to remember that there's another request waiting. My optimism renewed, I hurriedly clicked into the unread message. 5:06 p.m. Downloading image attachment. This request has been submitted correctly. The image is loading before my eyes. The new victim is male, early 20s. He's fit and athletic looking. His clothing is casual, so it's impossible to infer what kind of work he does. The photo of him is pretty simple. I don't know if he uses it for his noise profile or if it's an ID photo of some sort. Either way, he looks like a happy person. I'm not so naive to pretend that I can't guess at the reasons this guy is wanted dead. Perhaps an ex has submitted his details after a bad breakup, or a jealous sibling wants him out of the picture. People's motivations are purely selfish. Requesting the death of somebody is guaranteed to be motivated by self-interest. So why does somebody want Tsurumaki dead? She was so plain looking, so uninteresting. She didn't look like she was capable of even thinking about wronging somebody. Did somebody want revenge on her? Or did someone simply find her so dull that the thought of removing her from the planet seemed appealing? I interrupt my own thoughts and return to the task at hand. Dwelling on a past victim won't do me any good if I want to continue my streak of success. This new guy is attractive. It's almost a shame to have to chop him up. Well, we all get what's coming to us. No sense in trying to avoid scaring a pretty face. Beauty's superficial anyway. I know that as well as anyone. No one deserves to be spared just because they're good looking. Beautiful people should suffer just as much as anyone else. Beautiful people do suffer as much as anyone else. Take Aoi, for example. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and definitely my type, but she suffers endlessly at the hands of cruel stalkers and patrons. Everyone suffers, beautiful or not. We all cop the crap we're dealt. So why fuss over a beautiful corpse? This guy or Aoi or Tomoe on a good day, beautiful people die the same way as the average person. The guy on my computer screen probably doesn't really deserve to die. I'm sure there is some petty reason his death has been requested. But I take all requests seriously. I won't turn down a single one. Corpse Girl's convictions will pave the way to her fame. With a smirk and a lick of my lips, I get to work. I've got a nice clear photo here so I can go all out on the request. I hit up the DD, the database of the deceased, and spend some time selecting a suitable base image. I hesitate between choosing an image of a corpse with a knife in his throat or a body soaking in a bloody bathtub with his wrist slit. Either image would do just fine, but I really want something special for this latest victim. After all, I have to top my last success, right? Another 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp at coming across the perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on the DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic build, male. The corpse's legs are severed below the knees. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from on high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines on some suburban street. It's perfect. Beautiful even. It will help me to create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. What the fuck? I kind of have to question the story behind this photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to this sucker. Well, regardless, this will serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy available and save it to my hard drive. My fingers trace along the computer's trackpad with practice movements, clicking, tapping, and dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. This bitch has no shame doing this shit, dog. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even managed to take a seat for the first time in a while. I withdraw a worn book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrawled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it has become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember where I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a secondhand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. Its aged cover and weathered spine both bear the same title. PSYCHOPATH. A comprehensive history of photo manipulation. Damn. This girl is dedicated to her craft. So much so she's reading a book on how to fucking Photoshop. The book is written in English, and it's a slog to work through with my limited knowledge of that language, but I like to skim through it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinates me. The book even features techniques and studies as recent as 1993 when it was first published. It's true that a lot of the techniques discussed within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there's a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section's content is that the features artists perform the opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating images of the living to make them appear dead, the artist in the book edits images of the dead in order to make them look alive once more. In bygone eras when photographs of people were taken few and far between, effective artists dedicated themselves to honoring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photos taken upon death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Imagine if you lost someone dear to you and you had no photographs of them. Wouldn't it be wonderful to receive one last memento, a beautiful image of the way you remember them? Instead of using makeup to beautify a corpse, these artists applied paintbrush and pen directly to a photograph to seemingly bring the deceased back to life. The impressive aspect of this process was the way they illustrated the corpse's eyes to look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from the work I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artists discussed in this book. Surely we are cut from the same cloth. Browsing through the images in this book inspires me to work hard on my own photo editing. Many of the pictures are in black and white, but to me, that only drives home how impressive these old techniques were. I finished flipping through a chapter and closed the book. I hold the tattered tome so close to my chest and breathe a sigh of satisfaction.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. This music is fire. Everything's fired. When I'm certain nobody's looking, I carefully open the lid of the large dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food and who knows what else assaults my senses, and I reflexively gag and splutter. The staff at the convenience store really need to seal their trash in plastic bags before tossing it in here.
Ugh, this is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
The raised open lid locks into place at a 45-degree angle, allowing my now free hands to retrieve a small black object from my handbag. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing with a shiny charcoal finish. I open it up and tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I've completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Nodding to myself, satisfied that I've covered my tracks, I eject the battery from the back of the casing and toss it in the dumpster. I then snap the phone in half along the hinge, separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with a gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. I clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I slide between the brick wall of the convenience store and a narrow metal railing, intended to keep people like me away from the dumpsters. Now in front of the convenience store, I finally feel I can breathe deeply without fear of inhaling the toxic contents of the dumpster. I let my lungs take in their fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I crack the SIM card in half and dispose of it in the combustible trash. Now with the phone itself destroyed and discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It has been slightly less than 24 hours since I have messaged my latest victim, that athletic guy that I may have briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. Jesus Christ. Christ. So you flicked the bean, you whacked off to him, and then you decided I'm gonna get him killed. Craziness. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I wanted to discard the phone early, clear my anxiety, and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone ever replies to the messages I send. I'd love it if they did, but it is what it is. So really, there's no point holding on to the evidence of my wrongdoing for longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote Tomoe's date on the latest victim timestamp, May 30, 10:31 a.m. Why are you killing everybody in the morning? The victim may decide to kill himself today, of course. He could just end up like Akane Tsurumaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll hold out until just a few hours before the designated time. He'll let panic and fear boil and then build inside him until he just can't take it anymore. Or someone else will come along and end it all for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Rui Hatomo. Did she kill herself or did someone else snuff out her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident that this will be another successful request. If it is, I'll truly be on a winning streak. With butterflies in my stomach, I cross the road. This girl's crazy, bro. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now we're in a park. On my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to my apartment, provided the weather is decent. I avoid the park in the mornings, as a lot of people walk their dogs and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I finish work a bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air and scenery. I make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches line the path at regular intervals, and at this time of the evening, it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. The city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. I try not to think much of it as I walk by every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do, but there's not exactly anything I can do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money that I can't afford to spare when I just end up homeless as well? I'm not exactly broke, but I live month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara. And commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to, but I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. And don't even get me started on the cost of the coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can for 100 yen, but more often than not, I'm paying up to 150 for a single can. Even if I were to buy a can coffee, that's like $1.50. What is she talking about? Bro, a bottle of coffee over here in California is like $4. You're tweaking. Even if I were to buy a canned coffee in bulk from one of those huge variety stores like Don Coyote, I'd still only save a handful of loose change. And I wouldn't have access to the familiar selection I get at the convenience store. I'm just thankful that I don't go out for drinks after work like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beer every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. She just like me for real. I don't really like hanging out with people either. Maybe that's just because I don't have good friends. Realizing I'm trudging along the path at a snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Towards the exit of the park, the silhouettes of two people on a bench come into view. The sound of laughter carries on the wind, and I can't help but feel like I've heard the voices before. As I draw closer, a sinking sensation clutches at my stomach. I immediately get the urge to turn around, but I'm so close to home.
It's Noriko. Fancy seeing her here.
Noriko's here.
Tomoe and Shinya. Tomoe glares and flips her long hair behind her with a shit-eating grin on her face. Shinya looks kind of out of place outside the office. His face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall Tomoe did mention they were going on a date Friday night. I suppose it's just my bad luck that I would run into them on the way home, though what are they doing here in Akihabara? I have to assume that Tomoe came here on purpose just to spite me.
On your way home? Uh-huh. How's your, date? We're having a blast. Right, Chen?
Yes, of course. A great time.
Bro is struggling. Bro is absolutely cooked. I know he probably thought something was completely different was gonna happen, and he's just stuck because Tomoe just does not want to let me go for some reason. She just wants to torture Noriko. For what reason? Like, what did Noriko ever do to you? I wonder if Tomoe's been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, please get me out of here.
We're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us?
No, fuck off.
No thanks.
I can't think of any worse way to spend an evening than eating with Tomoe.
Please come with us, Noriko.
Fuck. Shinya has a dejected look on his face. It's pitiful, but he brought this date on himself. Why should I have to bail him out?
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
I honestly don't know what to say to that.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
It's not completely a lie. Sometimes I eat at home. Sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
What the fuck? She's starting to get on my nerves. I swear she tries to identify my flaws and insecurities just so she can rub them in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being very nice to Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
Lol.
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
If this bitch don't stop fucking lying. Oh my god, bro. That just pulled me out of character.
Right.
I'm off the fucking scenes. I'm off the scenes.
Hey, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay, see you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
I let Tomoe's words hang in the air as I walk past her. I'm pretty annoyed that she drags Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? Does she care about Shinya at all, or is this whole thing just to annoy me? Tomoe dating Shinya doesn't even get under my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomoe is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I could carry on my way home without one final interruption. Tomoe calls out to me
Your
again.
friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? How fun. I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko.
Ah, here we fucking go. I grimace. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turn back to face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Oh yeah.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend. If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
Cook.
Well, I got plenty of friends. And only some of them are sluts like you.
Yeah. I'm going.
I finally managed to disengage from the conversation, even with Tomoe's mocking laugh piercing the air. I exit the park, cross the road, and walk down the block leading to my apartment. Tomoe, I have to wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. I have to tell myself she's not worth my time. I can't let her taunts get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile and approach my apartment building. How about you put in a request for Tomoe and then kill her? I'm sorry. I spent all morning trying unsuccessfully to calm my nerves. I'm anxious about finding out whether the latest victim has perished. It's afternoon now, so the time written on this photo has passed. If my work was successful, I should know soon enough. I've already set up an obituary news alert on my phone to keep me informed. Instead of sitting at home all day and waiting for my phone to go off, I decided to visit an old favorite hangout. Public libraries don't get the credit they deserve in this age. They're quiet, calm, soothing. I can sit here for hours, for free, and just get lost in different worlds. Plus, they always carry works by my favorite authors. Sometimes the librarians are even kind enough to recommend titles that might fit my tastes. I don't feel judged here. Nobody looks at me and mocks my clothing or my makeup. Nobody looks at me and asks if I've had enough to eat lately. Nobody makes fun of me, that lonely girl in the corner reading Lovecraft and calmly stroking her hair. Every so often, I put my book aside and check my phone and I have it. Still no alerts. Have I miscalculated something? Did my latest photo not look convincing or damning enough to inspire suicide or murder? I find myself growing increasingly anxious and impatient.
Cthulhu, huh? You a Lovecraft nerd?
Who the fuck is this? I blink twice and look up at the strange man standing over me.
Huh?
Sauce. Didn't mean to interrupt. Notice you're reading Lovecraft. Huh. In Japanese, too.
Who the fuck is this?
Didn't know this book had been translated.
Yeah. My English isn't great, so I read the translated versions.
That's mad. Do they translate esoteric names? Can't imagine Cthulhu being easy to write in kanji.
Yo, who the fuck is this, bro?
Well, it's written in katakana, so...
Of course. Kojiro.
The man extends a hand and I can't tell if he wants me to shake it or pass him my book.
What?
I'm Kojiro. You?
Noriko. Kurosawa.
Nice. Just Kojiro for me. No last name. Call me Koji.
Bro's voice is like, bro is trying to riz. Bro is trying to riz.
Used to. Lost it. Fire, you know. I'm just Kojiro now.
This guy's weird. His clothes smell like they've been stashed in the back of a closet for a decade or two. His face is unshaven, and his eyes are scarily clear and focused, despite being masked by a pair of thick glasses.
Didn't mean to keep you. Saws again. I'm looking for Nobel Sinclair. He around here?
I mean...
Writer guy? Did that book about befriending the dead? The librarian told me to check these shelves.
Sorry, I don't really know.
No worries. I'll find him. You know, you look like the type who'd enjoy his books. Not to judge you by your cover.
Cringe. Bro's riz is terrible.
Stomach though. Messed up shit.
As much as I hate to admit it, the stranger has captured my interest.
How messed up are we talking?
This bitch is crazy.
Well, his first book describes dressing up corpses, taking them to dinner. Goal is to not get caught out. Bad, right? Like something out of that American movie. Weekend with Bernard? Something like that.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Second book goes nuts. Main character fills the school classroom with bodies, all dressed up as students. Runs lectures and records them, puts them online.
Yo, whoever made this game, what were they cooking? What were they cooking? Because this is crazy.
This part, no one can figure out if these books are fiction. Internet says Nobel Sinclair actually did these things. Says he's doing time now, writing these books as a confession.
Interesting.
Right? It's deranged. Makes for a good bedtime reading.
Huh.
You want noise? Well, of course you are.
Yeah. You?
Yeah. At Koji.
At Koji.
We can talk shop. I'm gonna find Nobel. Wish me luck.
And without so much as a glance back at me, the man walks away. I try to return to my reading, but that whole conversation just replays back in my head. What a bizarre encounter. Maybe I'll just head home for today. Being here has helped me calm down, but I am still eagerly anticipating the fate of my victim. Besides, I have to admit that I'm growing a little bit hungry. Maybe onigiri, a rice ball from the convenience store, will tide me over till tomorrow. I gather my things and stand up, letting out a little hoo as I stretch my muscles. As I head towards the sliding doors to leave the library, a little alert sounds from my phone. This is it. My phone is in my hands in less than a second, the screen unlocked and the obituary page loading before my eyes. 2:39 p.m. Eiki Hanada, 22, of Tokyo Prefecture, was pronounced dead this afternoon at a traffic intersection, 12:02 p.m. Coroner's office reports that Mr. Hanada was involved in a traffic accident. No other casualties have been reported. Mr. Hanada is survived by his fiancée, who wishes to remain anonymous. A funeral service has not been yet arranged. View image attachment. I quickly load the image attachment and can't believe my eyes. The photo is the exact same one that was sent to me through Corpse Girl's website. There can be absolutely no doubt that this is my latest victim. I've done it again. My reading starts to quicken, my cheeks begin to grow hot. Hey, you can't do this here. I know from experience that if I don't get somewhere private and quickly, I may very well make a fool of myself in public. I quickly glance around the library for a sign pointing to a restroom. As soon as my eyes settle on it, I dash towards it, swerving between bookshelves and through narrow aisles. There's one door for a unisex bathroom, an unremarkable beige portal. The muscles in my thighs are tightening and I squirm as I reach for the door. My hands grasp the cool metal handle and presses down, only to be met with immovable resistance. It's locked. There's a sign on the door. I notice I completely ignored in my haste. Closed for cleaning.
Shit.
I curse despite my best efforts to keep a low profile. My head turns frantically, looking for somewhere, anywhere I can sit down and remain out of sight while my body reacts erratically to my lady's success.
Oh, you busted?
This guy again.
I need to use the restroom.
I hope you can't tell the expression on my face is not one of desperation to use the facilities. To my surprise, Kojiro strides up to the restroom door and begins to slam his fist against it.
Cleaning time is over. Get out of there.
I hear a panic yell from within. Kojiro's commanding voice was more than a little intimidating. Within seconds, a terrified old woman emerges. She wheels her cleaning trolley around us, bows quickly, and disappears from sight.
Yours. Bad to hold it.
Thanks.
It's a big ass bathroom for it. I dash past Kojiro, unable to believe what is happening here. I slam the door behind me and slip into a cubicle. As soon as I sit atop the toilet's closed lid, my legs begin to shake uncontrollably, and I have to lean backward to steady myself. Eiichi Hanada is dead, killed in a traffic accident. That could mean anything, but I'm willing to bet that I caused his death. After seeing the photo of his dismembered corpse, he might have purposely crashed his car. Or perhaps someone else rammed his vehicle, intent on murdering him on behalf of Corpse Girl. I still don't know how my power works. I don't know why these victims end up dead, but the cause of death ultimately doesn't matter. What matters is that Corpse Girl is victorious once more. I find myself panting, squirming, struggling to retain myself. My vision fogs, my knuckles clench, and with barely a fanfare, I begin to cool down all of a sudden. Just like that, the overwhelming urge to explode simply flutters away. Huh? My breathing regulates. My legs solidify and rest firmly on the ground. This experience wasn't nearly as staggering as last time. Maybe it was because I was so confident that this victim would die and my body already prepared itself for it. Have I already become desensitized to my ability to wield death itself? I won't pretend that I'm not disappointed. That exhilarating feeling I experienced last time, the complete and utter loss of control, it was addicting. I craved experiencing it again. Still, I need to remind myself of the most important thing. I fulfilled the request issued to Corpse Girl. It's 2 new victories in a row, 2 victories in a single week. As long as requests keep coming in, I can keep achieving my goals. I can do this. Full of confidence and feeling steady once more, I exit the cubicle and leave the bathroom. The strange man Kojiro is waiting for me at the end of an aisle.
Good?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for, I really needed the bathroom.
Of course. Been there. Gotta go when you gotta go. Look what I found.
Kojiro holds up a book with a plain back cover.
Tomoe Sinclair's latest, Dazed by the Dead. It's a ripper.
I don't know who this is, but he's cool.
What's that one about?
Falling in love with the dead. Read it already last year. Time for another go. Oh, here.
Kojiro hands me another book to me. This one with a brown cover. An illustration on the front depicts a field of flowers.
What's this?
Sinclair's first ever published work, Strange Flower. Title's nonsense. This is the one where he puts corpses in suits, treats them to meals at fancy restaurants. Loaned it out under my name. You take it. Return it before the due date. Can't risk getting fined.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll be sure to read it.
Sure. Send me your thoughts and noise. Right. Be seeing you.
A brief wave of his hand, he disappears behind the closet shelf. I kind of like this guy. I can't really get over how peculiar he is, but he certainly is making an effort to be friendly. I turn the heavy book over in my hands and look inside the front cover for a publication date. 2009. It's actually not that old. Definitely not as old as the fiction I normally consume. I shrug and hoist the bulky tome underneath my arm to make for the library's exit. Okay, good. We didn't have a fucking... I feel uncommonly hungry on my way home, so much so that if I decide to stop by a restaurant and get some dinner, I wonder if killing stirs my appetite. I often pass this establishment when I exit the train station in Akihabara. It's an old venue that serves traditional Japanese food as well as popular Western dishes. To say that I've always been curious about eating here would be accurate. I've been working hard lately, achieving my goals. I can afford to treat myself to a cooked meal, right? Why do I find it so hard to justify that? I'm even going to eat at a booth tonight, another rarity for me. A waitress guides me to an empty booth and I slide in before looking at a menu. The house specialty, according to the menu in my hands, is grilled eel. Not exactly my favorite. In fact, seafood of any variety doesn't sit well on my stomach. I decide to pass on the specials and order something I know I can digest. Omurice sounds good. I used to eat it a lot as a kid. Omelette, rice, and ketchup. What's not to like? Plus it's only 700 yen before tax. The waitress returns to take my order and I confidently point out what I like. She offers me a smile and hurries off to the next table. Perhaps my recent victory streak has given my courage a boost because I hardly feel awkward or anxious sitting here surrounded by people eating and drinking on all sides. I'm somewhat calm and at ease amidst the hustle and bustle of the restaurant. I almost feel like it might be nice to have company. A friend, perhaps Aoi or even Shinya, might be nice to talk to and pass the time with. Oh well, in a way I do have some company. I retrieve a book from my handbag, the very same book Kojiro lent me. Strange Flower, an odd, apparently meaningless title. Still, it comes highly recommended by an eccentric stranger, so it must be good. My meal arrives when I'm a few pages into the book. I thank the waitress and look at the armorize before me. It smells good. It's presented beautifully. I could probably eat at least a quarter of this portion without feeling ill. I pick up a spoon and slice through the middle of the armorize, causing a puff of steam to billow up. Throwing caution to the wind, I scoop up a good amount and bring it to my mouth. It's delicious. There's no other word to describe it. The convenience store meals I normally eat can't even compare to something like this. The egg is soft, the rice is fluffy, and there's just enough ketchup along the top. I take a second mouthful, then a third. I can't help but giggle a little at the thought of myself sitting here, eating like a normal person. All the people around me probably think I'm a normal person too. Just a girl sitting at a restaurant eating her dinner. Another quiet giggle escapes my lips and I gently dab my mouth with a napkin. I set my spoon to the side and return to the book in front of me. The author of this work certainly is interesting. Nobel Sinclair. According to the bio inside the front cover, he moved to Japan from overseas at a young age. The book was written originally in Japanese. It's not a translation, but even so, the writing style is quite unusual. I can't quite put my finger on what is strange about it. Maybe it's the lack of complex kanji used throughout. Everything is written rather simply, in hiragana, almost like the intended audience is elementary school kids. But that can't be right. The themes contained within are truly disturbing. Maybe the author just doesn't have the greatest comprehension of writing in Japanese. It's true that a lot of adults have trouble with complex kanji. Professional authors, though, not so much. Anyway, it's not like it matters too much. The book is interesting enough to keep me turning pages. I must be completely absorbed in reading because before I know it, a waitress is politely letting me know that the restaurant is closing soon. I nod and look at the plate of armorize in front of me. The meal's gone cold, and I only ate 3 bites. Still, I'm feeling full now. I really enjoyed what I did eat. I don't even feel added weight on my hips as I get to my feet. That's definitely a positive thing. I stretch my arms and legs and put my book in my bag and offer the waitress some money along with the bill. Why don't you take that shit home with you? Y'all ain't got no fucking like to-go boxes over there in Japan? Like what type of shit? A blast of frigid night air nearly sweeps me off my feet when I step out of the restaurant. If I had known the weather was going to take a turn for the worse, I would have brought my scarf and jacket. It's the end of spring. So unpredictable cold weather is pretty rare. I guess I can't be blamed for not bundling up. Anyway, it's not raining and I'm close to home, so it shouldn't be a problem. I head down the street and watch a few shop owners closing their stores for the night. They don't pay me any mind as I wander by. My phone bursts to life and it rings out in the quiet night air. I grab it and press close to my ear for warmth.
Hello? Aoi? Noriko? Hello? Is this a bad time? No, I'm just walking home.
What's happening?
You're out at this time of night? That's not like you. I stopped somewhere to eat. What's up? You stopped to eat? Say, about the new job. What is it? I spoke to the manager at the maid cafe, but he said I can't quit.
What?
He said that? Oh, well, it's not up to him. You have every right to quit. Did you tell him you've landed a new job? Yes, I told him. But he said he spent so much time and money training me that if I quit now, he'll treat it as stealing from the company and he'll call the police.
What?
What a load of crap. Hang on. Are you at the cafe now? Yes, I just finished my shift. We're closing up. I'll be right there. I'm only a minute away anyway. I'm going to give your manager a piece of my mind.
Let's fucking get it.
No. Noriko, you can't just watch me. I'll be right there.
I'm in the call. I end the call despite all his objections. I can't believe how furious I am. Aoi finally has an escape route from that god-awful job and now the manager won't let her quit. That has to be illegal. I've never met her manager, but I could just imagine his type. A self-important, wretched, greedy pig thinks he's the king of the world because he runs a shady maid cafe in the back streets. Well, I won't stand for it. People like him are the ones that should be reported to Corpse Girl's website. I'd love to target victims like that. I change direction and take up a running pace. The cool air against my face is kind of nice now that my body is warming up a little. Thankfully, there's hardly anyone around this time of night, so I don't feel particularly embarrassed by running in public. I'm not a terribly fit person, so it isn't long before I feel out of breath. I come to a stop at the end of the street, heaving and clutching my chest.
I'm okay. Deep breaths.
Why were you running? After taking a moment to collect myself, I start back up, walking briskly this time. I can see the maid cafe's illuminated sign ahead of me. I approach the entrance and read the neon board. Welcome home, master. Drinks were just 400. Table chart. Whatever. I pass the sign and reach for the door handle just as somebody hurriedly throws the door open and emerges.
Noriko?
Aoi, told you I'd be here.
I'm really glad to see you.
Aoi gives me a brief wave. She fidgets nervously and strafes the ruffles in her dress.
I can't believe you have to wear this ridiculous outfit.
Yeah, but the costume isn't the worst part of the job.
I know. Listen, is your manager still here?
Aoi hesitates, then shakes her head sadly.
You just missed him. There are only a few girls inside closing up.
Damn it. I really wanted to give...
Noriko, it's fine. I can continue working here. It's not so bad.
Hell no! Don't even pretend it's okay. This place is torturing you. You have that customer that always gropes you, and now your manager is controlling you? I won't stand for it, and you shouldn't either.
But what can I do?
You can put his name in on the website. I'm honestly stunned by the question. And all my hastiness to get here, I never even thought through a plan for Aoi. Damn it, that heartbreaking expression on her face. I just want to grab her, hug her, telling everything's going to be okay. So why can't I?
Aoi, I know you don't feel like it, but you're the strongest girl I know. All the shit you've dealt with over the years, all the shit you're still dealing with.
Tell her.
You're brave.
Tell her!
You know it or not.
Fuck!
My issues pale in comparison to yours.
This is great and all.
You still get up each and every day and do your best.
The power of friendship ain't gonna help.
I'm proud of you. And I want to make things easier for you. Come work with me at Temujin. Just leave this place behind. Forget all about it.
Noriko.
You're my best friend. You always will be. Even if we can't be anything more than that.
Okay, this is worse. It's a confessional.
I'd do anything for you.
Ow,
Baby.
ow, ow.
I hope you realize that.
Ow. Okay, this is worse.
Of course. I know. Thank you, Noriko.
Tell that girl about the site.
It's really late. Come back to my place.
I'm sorry, what now?
You know I can't. All my things are at home, and I need to check everything first. Otherwise...
I nod calmly. Understand, I can't push her too much.
Don't worry. I get it.
The fuck?
And the thing is, I can't just run away from this place. That stalking customer. He knows where I live, and, well, if I stop showing up to work, he said he'll visit me at home.
Why don't we go to the police?
I can't do that!
Oh, of course. Without warning, Aoi bursts into tears just as rain begins to spill from the clouds.
I can't get him in trouble. I just can't.
Aoi, what is he?
He's... Emily.
Damn! Damn! No! Fuck, bro. That's even worse, bro. Oh, nah. We need the website. We need the website. No, all of a sudden, Noriko's not crazy no more. She's not crazy anymore. We need it happening. A gust of wind blows down the narrow street, causing my hair to whip wildly in my face. I brush it out of my eyes and mouth, only to see Aoi standing still, her head down.
Stalker. He's... Emily?
I could never bring myself to tell you. But surely you must have wondered why I've put up with it for so long.
I don't know what to say.
Nah, he's gotta get cooked.
I'm stunned.
He's gotta get cooked.
Putting up with it because you don't want him arrested.
Yes. If he goes to prison, the rest of my family will disown me. And I'll truly have no one.
Yo.
You have me.
You know what I mean. I'm just going to go home for tonight.
That's cooked.
Coming out to see me, Noriko.
Please help my girl. Aoi turns on her heel and strolls away, the click-clack of her shoes against the wet pavement echoing throughout the street.
Aoi.
She doesn't hear me breathe her name as she disappears into the darkness. That poor girl. There has to be something I can do. I shouldn't be able to choose this. I don't know what I want to choose here. What do I want to choose? I don't know what I want to choose here, bro. I gotta think. I can't push the pace. Aoi's gone, and I didn't lift a finger to try to stop her. I know her well. If I chase her, pursue her, she'll just resent me for it. It took a long time for her to heal the wounds I inflicted last time I pursued her relentlessly. The best thing to do is to give her space. Let her sort her own thoughts out. She'll talk to me when she's well and ready. I just need to be patient with her. My phone rings, the sound slicing through the pattern of rain. It's Aoi. Of course it is.
Hey, Noriko.
The girl burst into tears, her sobs reverberating through my ears. What the fuck just happened?
I can't do it anymore.
Wait. It's been a minute. What just happened?
All my life people have abused me, taken advantage of me. What did I do? What did I do wrong? You never did anything wrong, Aoi. I can't explain other people's behavior. And I can't truly understand what you've been through.
Dog.
Sorry. I know that's not what you want to hear.
This is, bro.
What do you do when it all gets too much, Noriko? Me? Well, I mean, you know me better than anyone. When it all gets too much,
I run. I hide away. I tuck myself in my apartment and swear to never leave the safety of its walls.
put it this way. I don't deal with things as well as I should. Me neither. When things get overwhelming, my mind feels frazzled. And everything just gets worse and worse. I get caught up in little rituals, little habits. And I can't break free. I can't tear my mind away from the repetition. From the endless doubting and second guessing. I know.
Damn.
I can't keep going like this. Something has to change.
It's time to tell her about the website.
As much as I want to help you, this is something only you can do, Aoi. Yeah, but if nothing else, I'll always be here for you. Whether you want to break down and cry on my shoulder, or use me as a punching bag, or just vent to me, I'll be here. Noriko, thank you. I think you finally understand. I'm trying, girl. I really am. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to quit my stupid job.
Yes.
And join you at work on Monday.
Yes.
I promise.
Yes.
I promise I am going to get through this.
Yes.
I know you are.
Let's fucking go.
Ah! Ah! See you later. Okay.
Turn up. Turn the fuck up. Aoi ends the call. I'm not sure if I feel better after that discussion, and I can't honestly tell if Aoi feels better either. I sigh and look up at the thick cloak of clouds above. The rain continues to fall. Banger. Banger though. Banger. Absolute banger. Today drags on and on. Since I don't work weekends, I never really know what to do with myself during my free time. The library yesterday was nice, but I don't want to hang out there again today. So far, I've spent the day simply reading at home and brewing the occasional cup of tea to stave off my hunger. I keep checking my phone, but Aoi hasn't replied to any of my texts. Even when I call, she lets it go to voicemail. I don't even have any new requests to attend to. I was hoping I could get at least one this weekend to help occupy my time. To take a break from reading Strange Flower, I decide to browse through noise and see what's happening in my social circle. Though I'm not close to any of the people I'm connected to, save for Aoi, reading through their posts always lifts my mood. Rather annoyingly, the first post I come across is from Tomoe. Bitches be tripping if they think they gonna steal my man. We think it's thieves. He getting lucky tonight. Huh? The garble post is accompanied by a photo of her and Shinya getting cozy together. Shinya looks more than a little nervous. I would be willing to bet that Tomoe is the first girl he's ever snuggled like this. I can't quite figure out why she's so interested in him, or why he's into her for that matter. At first I thought Tomoe was just trying to bug me to annoy me by pursuing someone she thought I wanted, but surely this is taking it too far, right? Haven't I made it clear I just don't care? As for Shinya, maybe that boy really is into the blow-up doll look. I guess I understand him less than I originally thought. I noticed I've been frowning while looking at Tomoe's post, so I decided to slam my finger down on the thumbs down button. A little text box below the post now reads Noriko Kurosawa disliked this. My frown breaks and I smirk. It feels somewhat satisfying to publicly dislike Tomoe's post. I can imagine Tomoe's face going tomato red when she reads the notification. With a little giggle, I scroll past the post and keep browsing my feed. As expected, it doesn't take long to find a post from Shinya himself. It's out of character for him, but he's actually not posting about criminal cases and detective work for once. I never believed in love until I met her. She swept me off my feet and showed me how to become a better man. She makes me want to be the best person I can be. My heart goes out to my Said 2 days together in counting. Bro wrote a whole dissertation on 2 days of a relationship. Nothing else in my newsfeed really compares to those last posts. My sister wrote something about her sucky job, and a few co-workers posted about how grief-stricken they were about Akane Tsurumaki passing away unexpectedly. Akane Tsurumaki, followed closely by Eishi Hanada. Long before them both, Rui Hatano, the one who started it all. 3 strangers, 3 people dead, all because of the corpse girl. People wanted them dead, and because of that, I also wanted them dead. I won't forget their names. When Corpse Girl rises above the muck and filth in this world becomes truly famous, I'll share a toast to their memories. Until then, I need to trudge forward. I need new targets, new victims, to launch Corpse Girl's name into the stars. If Corpse Girl's website becomes more than an urban legend, more than a rumor whispered of in the shadows, then no. I need to take it slow. I can't get too far ahead of myself. I still need to put in a lot of work before I can attain my goal. But the only way I can move forward is if more requests come through the website. There has to be a way to promote the site. Flashy advertising is out of the question. I don't want the site looking like a gimmick people can visit simply to pass the time. I need a word of mouth. Testimonials. So far, the site has claimed 3 victims. I need the original requesters to spread the word about how effective the website really is. Yes, that would be perfect, but I obviously can't get in touch with them now. They remain anonymous when they requested death. No one would willingly put in their contact details when doing something so shady anyway. I sigh and scratch my head, thinking about it like this won't do me any good. Oh shit. Maybe I should come back to it later. I reach for my laptop sitting on the couch next to me. Maybe I'll just take one more look for new requests. You never know, right? I log into the administration panel of Corpse Girl's website and check for notifications. One new request. 331. Download an image. Wait, 331? This was submitted just a few minutes ago. What are the chances I would check the incoming requests so soon after receiving the new one? My heart begins to race to the attached photo downloads to my computer. I'm excited about the prospect of working on a new request for the rest of the evening. Who will be the poor sucker to succumb to Corpse Girl's whims? Will another beautiful corpse be left in my wake? Holy shit! My heart skips a beat and my hands instantly turn cold. What the fuck? A photo of myself appears on the screen. It's the very same image used for my company ID tag. I'm not smiling, in the photo or in real life. Is this some kind of joke? Somebody has requested my death. Somebody has requested my death.
Somebody wants me dead?
Oh, okay. That's not what I expected. That's not the... That's...
I can't believe it! It finally happened! I know exactly who requested my death!
Yeah, I think I know too.
Tomoe! That stupid, vapid bitch!
Tomoe Watanabe, the one person who hates me more than I hate myself. Of course she's the one who uploaded my photo. Of course she wants Corpse Girl to take care of me. She's been looking for somebody to test the website on. Her noise post from the start of the week confirms that. And she's been getting increasingly obsessed with tormenting me lately. I'm willing to bet that when I disliked her latest post, it finally triggered her to request my death.
Tomoe, you brainless whore! I am Corpse Girl!
In a fit of manic laughter, I said the words, dismembering my photo. I'm going to make my corpse look so realistic that she'll think she really succeeded in getting me killed. And then when her guard is down... Holy fuck. Wait, okay, I don't want to stop now. I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. I want to keep going.
Sato yet? I wonder if she got held up. It's not exactly professional to be late on your first day of work.
I grind my teeth and hope that Shinya can't sense my anxiety.
She'll be here.
I don't believe the bitter words that tumble out of my mouth. I send another message to Aoi's seemingly abandoned phone, not really expecting a reply.
Actually, she's not the only one absent. Tomoe isn't here either.
He doesn't need to tell me that. I've been watching her desk like a hawk ever since I came in this morning. There's a small surprise waiting for her in the top desk drawer, courtesy of yours truly. I've been eagerly anticipating her arrival for an hour now.
She had a late night last night, so I wonder if she woke up on time.
But was knocking down the drawers. I taste something foul in my mouth. I don't really need Shinya's recap of his night with Tomoe.
Don't you have work to do?
Of course, I need to.
His vocalized thoughts trail off as he wandered away. I return my focus to the keyboard in front of me. As I type, letters scroll across my screen, seemingly slower than usual. No Aoi, no Tomoe. The static drone of the office environment is just as loud as ever, but without those two here, something feels off. Aoi shouldn't be missing her first day at work. I say what you want about Tomoe at the very least. She's punctual. For her to be this late is very unusual.
Kurosawa, a word, if you please.
A soft but sharp voice snaps me out of my thoughts. I look up to find a middle-aged woman standing over me, one hand beckoning in an intimidating fashion. Kotomi Ida, an executive who oversees a lot of the juniors on this floor. I deal with her a few times a week. She's a serious and critical person, but I've seen a warmer side of her when she chats with colleagues of her own level.
Miss Ida, did you need something?
Please, come with me.
I reluctantly rise from my chair and follow her to the office. She leads me to one of the glass screen cubicles that lined one wall of the office, special spaces reserved for meetings and temporary workstations.
Take a seat.
I follow her instruction, sitting down on one of the bright and colorful plastic chairs that fill the small enclosure.
A new employee was supposed to start work today. Sato, an acquaintance of yours, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. I've been trying to get in contact with her.
I see. You understand that it doesn't reflect well on Sato's character if she can't arrive on time for her...
Yes, I understand. Believe me, it is very out of the ordinary for her to do something like this.
I'm sure. Fujikawa recommended Sato for the job based on your personal request. You need to be aware that since Fujikawa rank over you, he is the one who will be reprimanded for hiring an unsuitable employee. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say that he will be punished. Rather, his recommendations will be denied for the foreseeable future. And any attempt he makes to climb the ladder will be vehemently refused by the other executives.
Isn't that a bit extreme? All of that because of one temp employee that didn't show up for work?
That's the way these things go. I've seen it dozens of times. This is because you should feel some sort of responsibility to apologize to Fujikawa.
I had no idea.
Enough. This isn't an open discussion. Apologize to Fujikawa and see if he will find it in his heart to forgive you. And please advise him to seek employment elsewhere. I don't foresee his career with us flourishing anytime soon. That's all.
Wow, what the fuck? Kotomi abruptly exits the cubicle and leaves me alone, sitting in a stupid-looking green plastic chair. I take some time to compose my thoughts before also walking out. I don't know what to say to Shinya. I don't even know if I should say anything. Surely Kotomi is being a bit extreme if effectively halting Shinya's career to Mujin. This is all because I recommended Aoi for the job. I feel like an idiot, but how was I supposed to know that Aoi would prove unreliable? It's far too extreme. Kotomi's at a line. Something else is at play here, I could feel it. Maybe Kotomi wants Shinya gone for her own reasons, but I can't imagine why. He's a junior employee and not exactly the type to step on anyone's toes and make enemies. I return to my desk in a bit of a huff and slump in my swivel chair. My eyes fall on the empty can of coffee next to my computer screen, and I begin to wish I purchased more than one this morning. Glancing over the top of my screen, I can see that Tomoe still hasn't arrived. Maybe I'll have to wait until tomorrow for her to find the gift I left for her. I'm sure she'll love it. Wow, my boy Shinya just got fucked on. I don't enjoy my walk home through the park this evening as much as I normally do. There are too many things weighing on my mind. Aoi, Tomoe, Shinya, and Katomi. Why is it that I'm increasingly finding myself drawn to office drama? I don't want to deal with any of it. I just want to pursue my own goals. Working at the office is a means to an end, a way to keep a roof over my head and have the money to achieve Corpse Girl's ambitions. If I could quit, I would, but I can't. Not just yet. I wonder if I could monetize Corpse Girl services. Users could pay a fee to request a death, or I could even just accept donations. I get the sinking feeling that asking for money will reduce the amount of requests I get. The number of requests coming in is already depressingly low. If I reduce it any further, I'd be in trouble. As I draw closer to my apartment building, my phone cries out for attention. I bring it to my ear with a swift hand.
Aoi? Noriko, what's the deal? I've been trying to get in touch with you all day.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I couldn't bring myself to come into the office.
Yeah, well, I gathered that. Tell me why.
You know, just the stuff I normally have to deal with.
For real? What are we talking about here? Stalkers? Or your own battles?
I left the apartment twice. I really did. But I had to go back inside each time because it didn't feel right. I had to check a few things and then check again, and in the end, I gave up and laid in bed. I must have fallen asleep because when I looked at the time, it was already late.
I sighed angrily and hope that Aoi doesn't hear me.
Alright. It sounds like you had a rough day. I'm sorry, but the situation isn't great. I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? I don't think they'll be happy with you if you come in tomorrow. If I were you, I'd write a polite letter of resignation and just forget about the job. Shinya's been kind of thrown under the bus because of this.
Shinya? Why?
I'm not too sure myself. Since he got you the job, I suppose he was somewhat responsible for you. But because you didn't come in, it sounds like his career's in real jeopardy.
Yeah, but they shut this motherfucker down over dumb like
No.
One person doesn't show up. Fine. We won't take his recommendations anymore for somebody unreliable, but shutting down his climbing of the ranks and then effectively saying that he should look for other work? Why?
You didn't know something like this would happen. I didn't either.
This is too much.
I think this one exec has it out for him or something because it's too much of an overreaction.
I can't believe it. I never wanted to cost him his job.
Maybe you should have made it into work. Nah, fuck it. I can't be rude to her. She's too much of a fucking...
I'll talk to Shinya tomorrow. You need to look after yourself.
That shit's not gonna go well.
Okay? Promise me you'll just take it easy tonight and relax.
Okay.
Forget this ever happened. Noriko will look after everything.
Thank you, Noriko.
Okay. Get some rest. Talk to you soon, Aoi.
You're taking this shit way too easy on her. I'd be cooking her shit right now. I end the call with a heavy heart. I don't actually have any idea what to do. When it comes to Aoi, I always feel obligated just to tell her anything that will help her feel better. If I could actually follow through with my words and genuinely make things better for her, then maybe we'd have a bit of a different relationship than we do now, but I probably missed my opportunity for that a long time ago. Of course you're in love with Aoi. Of course you are. In senior high school, I was never really truly understanding of her, and that cost me too much. Things are different now, of course. I've seen what she goes through. I like to think I understand her a lot more now. My feelings for her are true and not muddled in sympathy or pity. If this was a different life and I hadn't made all those stupid mistakes, I would be happy to be with her. But now, the best I can hope for is that she wants to remain friends with me, and that will have to be enough to satisfy me.
Yo.
Fuck that voice. A trickle of icy sweat drips down my spine. In the near distance, sitting on the bench close to the park's exit, he's an easily recognizable figure.
Come here.
I freeze in my tracks. My body wants to keep walking to reach the familiar safety of my home, but my brain is engaging in this fight or flight mode. Torn between my options, I find myself completely stationary.
Come on, I won't hurt you.
Tomoe.
There's no doubt in my mind that she's been waiting for me here all afternoon. She knows my route home. That's obvious since I had encountered her and Shinya in this very same park. I can't help but tense up as she leaps off the bench and approaches
You're
me.
into weird shit, right? Like occult stuff?
Maybe? Is that what you came here to ask me?
Nah, just listen, okay? I wanted the opinion of someone freakier than me.
What? She really knows how to flatter a girl.
It's kind of dumb, you know, but have you heard of that Corpse Girl website thing?
Who does she think she's talking to? More importantly, how should I respond?
I've heard rumors.
Yeah, right? I heard rumors too, so I checked it out. I thought the whole thing was really funny. Like, could it be for real? Anyway, maybe I kinda used it to request a death.
Is that so?
Tomoe hasn't pretty much straight up admitted that she was the one who requested my death. After all, I know exactly how many requests come through the site. The latest one had to have been from her.
Yeah, and, well, you know how the site works, right?
Fill me in.
All you do is put in a photo of a bitch and her phone number. Then she's supposed to drop dead. Simple as that. Thing is, no one knows how it works. Or if it works, actually.
Right. Okay, so you requested somebody's death, and what happened?
Well...
This is it. This is where she admits that she uploaded my photo. I've caught her red-handed.
You see, the dumb bitch went and died.
Wait, what? I blinked a few times. I'm positive I didn't hear that right.
What did you say?
The chick whose photo I uploaded. She's deader than a doorknob.
Who is Tomoe referring to? My mind is racing frantically, scanning through the list of Corpse Girl victims over the past few months. The only people who have died recently are Kane Tsurumaki and Iki Hanada. Tomoe is talking about a female, so that rules out Iki. Then there's Rui Hatano, but she died such a long time ago. Last year, in fact. Surely Tomoe wasn't the one who requested her death. It was way too long ago for her to be bringing it up now. That leads me to believe the only person Tomoe could be talking about is Akane Tsurumaki. Or has somebody else died? Somebody I never found out about. That's impossible. I've been so thorough in searching for results of my work. The only victim that Tomoe could be talking about is Akane. But wait, no, that still can't be right. Tomoe requested my death. Tomoe uploaded my photo to the Corpse Girls website just recently. I take a deep breath, swallow hard and open my mouth.
Tomoe, what you're saying is really serious. Are you sure this person died?
Yep, no doubt. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. If you're good with this occult junk, how do you think she died from a website? Do you reckon my request really killed her? Cause I don't really want this shit on my conscience, you know?
I don't know what to say.
Okay, so then who'd foot the... Whoa.
Come on. I was only really joking around with the website. Didn't think for a second that it could really work. But now, this bitch is cold in the ground, and I can't sleep at night. Keeping Shinya close is the only thing making me calm lately.
Tomoe seems to be showing a little remorse, which I didn't think she had in her. If she thought the website was a joke, then fair enough. It's only natural she'd want to play around with it. Then again, I'm kind of offended that she figured the whole thing was fake. Corpse Girls worked too damn hard to be considered a joke. But I want to get to the bottom of this. I need to find out whose death Tomoe requested. And more importantly, the question of who requested my own death remains unanswered.
Tomoe, what's the name of the person you requested to die?
Her name? Oh, you might know her.
It was that skank from our office, Akane Tsurumaki.
Okay, Akane Tsurumaki. Sure enough, she's well and truly dead. Tomoe isn't wrong in believing that the website killed Akane. Tomoe once posted on Noise about wanting to try the website and she was waiting for someone to try it on. If I recall correctly, the request for Akane's death came through Corpse Girl's website shortly after I read that post. Perhaps Tomoe made the request on the very same day. So then Tomoe was the one responsible. I assumed the person who requested Akane's death was someone in our office, but I never figured it would be a junior data entry temp like Tomoe. How did Tomoe even know Akane? I can't even see their path. I can't see how their paths would have crossed in such a large office building.
Yo, Psycho, you in there?
I snap out of my thoughts and meet Tomoe's dead-eyed gaze.
Professional opinion, can a website really kill someone?
I'm torn between giving two replies. I could state that I believe that a website worked and therefore help increase Corpse Girl's credibility, or I could play it safe and make sure I'm not suspected of any involvement. Coward that I am, I decide to play it safe.
No, absolutely not. A website can't kill someone.
Yeah, I figured. Guess it's just a coincidence that she
Look
died.
at her happy-ass smug face.
Reckon I'm not guilty then? I didn't really want the bitch dead anyway. I was just mucking around.
Who is her voice actor? You're doing a great job. Who's ever voice acting this woman? Great job.
Yeah, you're not guilty.
Thank God. That's a real weight off my elbows, you know?
Shoulders.
I sure as shit won't mess around with sites like that again, though. I'm gonna play it real straight from now on.
Okay, then that means Tomoe didn't put it in the request, so who did?
I gotta get my life together. I got a man to look after now.
Right. Well, good luck with that. I need to get home.
All I want right now is to get back and figure out who the hell uploaded a photo of me to the website. My mind is reeling, and I'm not in the right headspace to listen to Tomoe's drivel any longer.
Hey, for what it's worth, which ain't much. Thanks. Thanks for putting my mind at ease. I know we ain't always seen eye to eye, and, well, nah. That's about it for now.
For a fleeting moment, I imagined that she was about to apologize for assaulting me last week. That possibility disappeared from my mind almost as soon as it had appeared.
See you tomorrow.
She waves, almost sheepishly, and then wanders back through the park in the direction I came from. Right, time to go home. I can't relax until I know who requested my death. Wait, didn't we leave something in her? If it wasn't Tomoe, then this situation could be a lot more serious than I originally thought. If it wasn't because of my petty squabbles with her, then someone really wants me dead. Who? Okay, fire picture, need this. I can't stop, bro. This shit's fire. I can't sleep. It must be past 3 a.m. Countless hours have passed since I started trying to figure out who requested my death. I've run through every possible candidate and their potential reasons 1,000 times. I've replayed every encounter I've ever had with every person I've ever met, and I'm drawing a blank. I don't know who wants me dead. I'm not so vain to think that everyone likes me. I'm sure as hell a lot of people don't like me very much at all. But does anyone not like me enough to want me dead, to nominate me for Corpse Girl to claim as her prey? I take little solace in the fact that my life isn't actually in danger. Corpse Girl's victims are only brought low by my hand. Though my convictions are strong and I never refuse a request, taking my own life is absolutely out of the question. This is the one and only request I will ever refuse, and it's not for the sake of my own life, rather for the sake of Corpse Girl's continued existence. I will not let her die and be buried with me. However, now that I've eaten of the knowledge that someone genuinely wants me dead, I can't cure my upset stomach. No amount of mental reassurance will quell the sickness rising inside of me. The top candidates are, of course, those closest to me. I've crossed Tomoe off the list. Her relief knowing Akane Suramaki's death wasn't her fault convinced me that she wouldn't make the mistake of messing with the website twice. Add to the fact that she came to me for reassurance, well, it's safe to say she's not the person I'm looking for. So that leaves the people I deal with on a daily basis. Aoi Sato, my best friend since junior high and the first person I ever fell for. She rejected me gracefully during senior high, so gracefully that we still remain friends to this day. Would she want me dead? It's doubtful. She wouldn't even report her stalker, a guy who she is apparently related to the police because she didn't want him arrested. Then there's Shinya Fujikawa, another acquaintance from school and now my co-worker. He's even gone so far as to call us friends now that we're connected on Noise. I've never been romantically interested in him, but I was under the false impression that he had feelings for me. He's a wannabe detective, but he doesn't have the competence to follow in his father's footsteps. He doesn't strike me as the type to want somebody dead, let alone go through with it requesting somebody's death. Still, quite guarded people like him could really surprise you. When you take those three out of the equation, the people I deal with daily are very few. There are the higher-ups and execs at work, like Kotomi Ida, but our dealings are so short and simple that I'm sure I barely even register on their radar. If I extend my list of candidates to include people that I don't deal with regularly, but who are technically still part of my life, then the list gets a little more interesting and hard to narrow down. Kenji and Momo Oagwa, the father and daughter living in my apartment building. They're sweet, kind, and considerate. Couldn't imagine they'd want to kill me unless I'm really using up too much of their internet bandwidth and they just can't take it anymore. There's my older sister, of course, Yuriko Kawarasawa. We haven't talked in over a year at least. She's scum, but probably not the type to randomly elect her own sister for death. Probably. She's on parole, so I have to believe she wouldn't do anything to jeopardize her freedom. What the fuck did her sister do? And then there's mother, Asuna Kurosawa. She's simply not in a position to submit my details to the Corpse Girl's website. My struggling brain can't think of anyone else currently in my life. I have a very small social circle, it's true. All the people that fill my Noise newsfeed have either already been named on this list or they are from such a small, long ago part of my life that they wouldn't even remember I exist anymore. And then suddenly, and without warning, a face pops into my mind with startling clarity. That guy from the library. Kojiro, was it? Kojiro was no surname. He was bizarre, eccentric, didn't seem like the type of person that gets outside much. Kind of like me, I suppose. His eyes were so clear it was unnerving. They say the eyes are the window to the soul, but I couldn't see anything of substance through his lenses. Out of everyone I've mentally listed, he seems like the person most capable of taking someone's life. It's a biased opinion based on little to no knowledge of him. It's just the impression he gives. However, I have to ask myself, would he want me dead? Me, a person he met one time at the library? In addition, the photo of me that was uploaded to my website was from Temujin's corporate system. It's the very same picture that I wear on my ID tag. How would Kojiro have accessed it? If he was going to upload a photo of me, he would have found my noise profile and used an image of one of my albums. There aren't too many photos of me on there, but there are enough to identify me. The guy is suspicious, but I don't think he's the one I'm looking for. Yet I can't get his face out of my mind. On a whim, I snatch up my phone from beside me and unlock the screen. The bright light shines like a beacon in the darkness and nearly blinds me, but I squint and navigate to the noise app. Kojiro, he told me his noise tag, didn't he? If I can remember it, it'll save me the hassle of having to look through hundreds of profiles with the same name just to find him. What was it? At Kojiro? No, too simple. Koji something. I start to type different variations until an auto-predicted result pops up. Koji. That's the one. I tap the result and instantly arrive at his profile. The info on his About Me section is pretty vague, but judging by the display photo, I'm certain this is the right guy. Just your average guy, taking my days one at a time. Introvert. Antisocial, anti-establishment, anti-everything. I like peanut butter though. I scroll through his feed and see that he hasn't posted anything for quite some time. His most recent post is from about a year ago, and it's just an updated version of his display picture, where he has cropped out a woman's face and body so the focus is just on him. I open up a direct message to him and start typing. Hey, is this the Kojiro from the library? It's Noriko. Kurosawa. Since it's past 3 a.m., I'm not expecting a reply, until I instantly receive a message in response. Hi. Late night? He replied so quickly. I swallow and gather the nerve to ask him what's on my mind. Yes, I can't sleep. Have you heard of Corpse Girl's website? The screen states that he's currently typing a message, but then the notification simply disappears and no message comes through. Is he ignoring me? Then, yes. So he does know about the website. The question is, was he already familiar with it, or did he just look it up after I mentioned it? What are your thoughts? Is it real? Yes. Love it. Big fan. See, me too. Have you used it? No. Well, no, not yet. Don't hate anyone enough. It's hard to get a sense of his emotions through his replies. I can't tell if he's being sincere or not. Wait, have you used it? Tell me. Tell me the details. Does it work? No, I haven't used it, but it's popular in my office. I don't know why I wrote that or why I ended the message with a question mark. I shake my head and wait for a response. Okay, let me know if you use it. Might be work for me. Might be work for me? What does he mean by that? Work? Yes, I store cadavers, dispose of later. I don't understand. Hospital morgue, storage and disposal. He works at a morgue? I noticed a strange smell in his clothes when we met, and now it makes sense. I gag a little and suppress the urge to vomit. So if someone dies, they get sent to you, even for like suicides and murders. Yes, all sorts. Worse are crash victims, have to mix and match limbs. Have you ever received a victim of Corpse Girl's website? Impossible to know. Maybe, who can say? Have a name? A name. Can you look up the names of bodies you've received? Can you look up such a thing? Yes. Cadavers are ID'd. Mostly. No victim? Should I ask? Will doing so put me under suspicion of being associated with Corpse Girl? Hello? I can look now. At work. I started to nervously bite my fingernails. I know that I won't gain anything from finding out if he's dealt with any of the victims, but morbid curiosity tends to get the better of me. Sometimes I just have to know. Akane Tsurumaki. Okay, a second. No. Correct spelling? God Nim. Im Tsurumaki and Akane Tsurumi. That's not right. Close though. Okay, more names. Eiki Hanada. One sec. Yes, crash victim. Bad. I remember him. He's still here actually. I can't believe what I'm reading. Eiki Hanada ended up at Kojiro's morgue and he's still there. Really? How long do you store bodies? Depends. Up to 2 days for autopsy. No autopsy for him, no need. So he just sits here. Cold chamber, 31 BB. If family don't collect, then cremation. Is cremation what you mean by disposal? Yes, mostly. Friend of yours? Not exactly. But he's corpse girl's victims. You said so. Well, I don't know. You said so. Interesting. I'll look at him again. Really, there's no need for that. It's okay, I won't tell. How'd you do it? I swallow hard. What does he mean? Hello? How did I do what? How'd you kill him? Oh shit! I messed up. He knows. Kojiro has figured out who I am. In a panic, I slam down the phone. You hear the constant vibration against the bed as Kojiro continues to message me. Shit! What do I do? Can I make up something to convince him that I'm not the one responsible for Eishi's death? Will you even buy it? By not responding to him straight away, I've probably inadvertently proven my own guilt. I pick up my phone between my trembling thumb and forefinger. I hold it delicately, as though it's suddenly become some sort of evidence that I don't want covered in my fingerprints. In a way, that's completely true. I stare at the message from Kojiro. Hey, you there? Hello? I better reply. I have to say something. Maybe, just maybe, I can throw him off my trail. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't kill anyone. Not exactly a lie. Yes, true. Corpse Girl killed him. No name entry on Corpse Girl's website, but you knew his name and you knew he died. Ergo, you requested his death. Wait, this is good. This is far better than him believing I'm Corpse Girl. He thinks I'm just some fan of the website that submitted a request. I have to run with this. I can't let him know the actual truth. Okay, you got me. I used the request site to request his death. Ha! Wow, mad. So the site is real. Amazing. This is exciting. Are you happy he's dead? I decided to take a leaf out of Tomoe's book and act more innocent than I really am. Not really. I made the request on a whim to see what would happen. I didn't think it would really work. Wow, so you didn't hate the guy, Eiki? No, I never even met him. Just found his photo on the internet. Incredible. Corpse Girl killed with just a photo. It doesn't even need a name. Wonder how many under Vicks I got here. I have to go. Clocking off soon. Talk later. Kojiro's status immediately changes to offline. I breathe a sigh of relief. I think he bought the lie. Surely I'm in the clear. But this whole conversation was just an exercise in stupidity. I nearly shot myself in the foot because of my own insatiable curiosity. I shouldn't have contacted Kojiro at all. The only positive thing to come out of this is learning that Kojiro works at a hospital morgue. I could potentially take advantage of this, but my sleep-deprived brain can't work how. Well, we just found out how Eri died. Now she's got cadavers to work with, and using her makeup prowess, she can dress up girls to look exactly like Eri, and Eri kills herself. I can dwell on that later. For now, I really need to sleep. I can't stop, bro. This is too much. I don't know why. I just can't stop. My alarm erupts with a shrieking scream and scares me awake. My eyes don't open immediately, and instead I find myself tossing and turning, trying to bury my face in my pillow. I can't have had more than 2 hours of sleep, and now it's already time to get up and go to work. How the hell am I going to function today? I drag my heavy body from the bed and slide into the pair of slippers resting on the floor. With a yawn and a stretch, I leave my bedroom. I stand in the kitchenette connected to the living room for a few moments, completely absent-minded. I open the refrigerator and stare blankly at the dismal contents. A small tub of peach yogurt sits on top of the shelf, and a half-empty jug of oolong tea rests at the bottom. I grab the yogurt and peel off the lid. Without even fetching a spoon, I simply pour a little into my mouth. I consume about half of the tiny portion and wipe my mouth before throwing the leftovers in the trash can. That will be enough to spike my energy for the morning. When you normally run on an empty stomach, any amounts of calories can work as a pick-me-up. I make a mental note to collect 2 or 3 cans of coffee from the convenience store on my way to work. They should carry me throughout the rest of the day. The rest of the early morning is spent applying makeup and getting dressed. I'm out the door at the same time as every other day. Who the fuck requested me dead? Who requested Noriko dead? To stop myself from nodding off on my desk, I decide to rearrange my personal effects. Having something to focus on is a great way to fight off sleep. Unlike the other employees here, I don't tend to keep too much of my workspace, yet it still manages to feel cluttered somehow. Next to my computer monitor are 3 little figurines that I collected from toy capsule machines. They're a set of wow. Words just fucking me up. Can't figure it out. Coffee cans. They're a set of coffee cans that were released as a promotional campaign for my favorite coffee brand. Each figure is about the size of my thumb. They're cute little things, and when you put a coin into the capsule machine, you never know which character you're gonna get. So far, I've managed to collect Captain Cafe Alight, Lieutenant Longblack, and Madame Macchiato. Okay. Madame Macchiato sounds kind of fun. If I remember correctly, there are 2 more I still need to get. but the capsule machines seem to be out of rotation now because they've been replaced with a different series of new toys. If I ever went to collect the remaining figures, I'll probably need to buy them online. Oh well, I'm not super invested in having to own all of them. I give each tiny figure a bit of dusting and set them back next to my monitor, so they're all standing up straight and facing forward. Satisfied that they're tidy, I look to the small tray of drawers that sit on the other side of my monitor. I mainly just store papers and office memos in them. They're not really big enough to hold anything much larger than documents. I rummage through the drawers and discard a few old notices that aren't relevant anymore. When I'm done, I file away a couple of loose papers that have been fluttering around my desk for the last week. With that complete, I straighten up my keyboard so it's parallel with my mouse pad. I give the keyboard a thorough dusting and then lean back in my chair to admire my work. The desk looks much nicer now. A clean workspace invites a clear state of mind, or so my coworkers would have me believe. Maybe I'll buy into that a little bit now that I can see the effects for myself. The corner of my eyes catch a glimpse of blonde hair, and I turn to watch Tomoe enter the office. She nods at Shinya as she walks by his desk and continues nonchalantly towards her own workspace. Since her desk is in my line of sight, I have the perfect vantage point to watch her put her belongings down and take a seat. I feel a sudden stirring of excitement as she sits down. It's almost as if I'm anticipating something to happen. Something's supposed to happen with Tomoe today? Have I forgotten something important? My tired mind can't really focus on those thoughts. I try to ignore the mild surge of adrenaline that started pulsing through me when she took her seat. I distract myself by starting up my computer and looking over the list of today's tasks. It looks as though I need to correct a few entries I uploaded to the company server yesterday. In my previously distracted state, it's possible I made a few typographical errors. That's fair enough. I'll get to work on correcting the data. I'll open up a few programs and listen to the whirring of my computer towel, nearly drowned out in the clamor of the office environment. The next sound I hear eclipses the noise of the computer and the office, completely and absolutely. A terrified shriek slices through the air like a knife, leaving a deathly ringing silence in its wake. I scramble to my feet purely out of instinct, scanning for the source of the scream. I don't have to look very far before my eyes fall upon a distressed Tomoe kneeling on the floor and clutching her face. She's on the ground next to her desk, staring down unblinkingly, her fingers white from the strain of clawing at her own hand. In the sudden chaos of people rushing to her side, I somehow manage to notice that one of the desk drawers on her desk is wide open. An open drawer. As tired and exhausted as I am, the significance of the open drawer isn't lost on me. I immediately realized why my body subconsciously felt excited when Tomoe came into the office this morning. I left something in her desk drawer, something I wanted her to find. Yesterday's obsession with discovering the identity of the one who requested my death caused me to forget my rebellious strike against Tomoe. I left something in her drawer yesterday thinking she was the one who submitted my photo to the website. Then she didn't come into work and it completely slipped my mind. After she confessed to requesting Akane Tsurumaki's death, I erased my suspicion of her being the one who targeted me, but I didn't remove the item from her drawer. I'm in deep, deep shit now. Before I can even lurch forward from behind my desk, Tomoe turns her head to face me. Her cold, grim eyes lock onto mine, refusing to let go. A trickle of crimson blood seeps from her scalp, where her fingernail pierced her skin during her panic scream. Swallowing my nervousness, I break eye contact with her and stare down at the flat object that was the focus of her outcry. It's a familiar photograph, a printed image on glossy paper, traditional, old school, and just as effective as I had hoped. Though I can't make out all the detail from this distance, the composite of the photo doesn't elude my memory. It depicts my very own corpse, toppled backwards over a tombstone. A bloody slash traces across my neck, a laceration lines my stomach, and a knife protrudes from my breast. My black hair is a tangled mess, my dark eyeliner smeared and smudged. The grimace on my face is the unmistakable mask of death. Noriko Kurosawa, stoic and unflinching in death. Noriko Kurosawa, dead atop a random tombstone in some nameless cemetery. A bizarre yet ultimately unremarkable way to die. It suits me perfectly. I'm proud of the work that went into this photo. The objective was to punish Tomoe for requesting my death, to create a work of art so horrific that she would beg for forgiveness when she found me still breathing. But the scene playing out before me is unlike anything I had imagined. Tomoe's face is scrunched up with hatred, the veins in her forehead threatening to burst and shower the office with sanguine gore at any given second. Whether or not she thinks this is some sick prank is beyond my knowledge. All I can decipher from her expression is that she's likely strangled me given the opportunity. But perhaps I'm jumping ahead of myself. Why do I automatically assume that she believes I'm guilty of putting the photo in her drawer? I mean, aren't I the victim in the image? Perhaps she actually—
Who the fuck is responsible for this?
She howls like a wounded animal, a battered and beaten pup back into her corner. Clutching the photo, now torn from her bloody fingernails, she stands and plants her feet firmly on the floor, steadfast, stern, resolute, a bulwark of immovable fury. All eyes are upon her. The bleached blonde gal girl with an antagonizing attitude is at the center of attention in the office.
This photo is disgusting! Absolutely sick! Who made it?
From the confused and puzzled faces of the 20 or so employees huddled around, it's obvious that no one really knows what Tomoe is talking about. The photo is small, and with her clutching it tightly and waving it around frantically, it's impossible for anyone to make out the detail. I'm bold enough to assume that no one else has managed to properly glimpse it yet. And maybe I can prevent our co-workers from getting a closer look if I act fast. I dart out from behind my desk and approach Tomoe.
Let me see.
Tomoe aggressively thrusts the photo towards me. I take a cursory look and gasp loudly to add credibility to my acting. Adopting a fake countenance of shock, I grab Tomoe by the shoulder and pull her close to me. I bow my head against her so we stand intimately in the middle of the crowd, forehead to forehead, our eyes fixated on one another. I hope my beating heart isn't loud enough for Tomoe to notice as we stand against each other. I whisper softly, my pulse quickening as I try to make my words sound urgent and confident rather than broken and anxious.
Come with me. I need to talk to you.
Tomoe tenses and stiffens, but she murmurs something that sounds like agreement. I pull away from her and grab her wrist to lead her out of the office. We exit from the throng of onlookers scratching their heads and dart towards the elevator. Shinya says nothing as we pass him. He just looks on with a pale face. Okay, how are you gonna sling yourself out of this one? The elevator ride down is silent and awkward, but eventually the door is open to reveal the ground floor lobby. We weave between the scattered couches and sculptures, making a frantic dash for the exit. How the fuck is she gonna swing this? There's no way she could swing this. We finally emerge outside in the brisk morning air. Trying hard to catch my breath, I notice that Tomoe isn't nearly as exhausted as I am. I want to chalk up my wheezing condition to a lack of sleep, but I know that's just an excuse for my poor physical fitness. Tomoe is still holding the photo in her hand. She looks at it once more in disgust and faces me with one hand on her hip.
You want to tell me what the fuck this is?
Look, it's difficult to explain, but I'll try my best.
I want to find out who planted this in my drawer. Look at this.
She thrusts the photo at me once again. She used the point of her thumb to indicate the timestamp printed at the bottom of the image.
It's got yesterday's date on it. A photo of your dead body, as if you've already been killed. But here you stand.
Sure enough, the photo bears yesterday's date. The time states 9:06 p.m. I marked it as such when I was under the belief that Tomoe would find it yesterday morning. I wanted her to anxiously wait out the day until my death accompanied the rising moon. Since that didn't go down the way I planned, the confusion on Tomoe's face is now self-explanatory.
I just can't believe that corpse girl wants you dead.
What did she say?
Huh? This is just like what happened to Akane Tsurumaki when I requested her death. The police found a photo of her own dead body on her phone when they investigated how she died.
What? Is this public knowledge? How did I not know this?
And now you've got a similar photo. Does that mean Corpse Girl is trying to kill ya? But it doesn't make sense. It's already past the time it says here. And why was the photo in my desk drawer? What do I gotta do with it?
I'm still reeling from the information about Akane Tsurumaki. The police discovered the corpse photo on her phone? Of course they did. Of course they would investigate her death. It was foolish of me to assume the photo wouldn't come to light. Tomoe grits her teeth and tenderly touches a finger to the bloody cut on her scalp, the place her fingernail slashed in anguish. She looks at her fingertip in revulsion and sighs.
Look, maybe it's my fault that Akane Tsurumaki ended up down the well. Maybe it's not. The least I can do is make sure that the fucking corpse girl doesn't come to get you as well. You ain't my friend or nothing, but sluts gotta stick it out together, right? I don't want another cold bitch on my conscience.
Why is she so far away from the mic now? I feel like these are the most touching words Tomoe can string together. I'm somewhat flattered that she wants to protect me.
Tomoe, you don't have to do anything.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, I kinda do, you know? You comforted me a little when I came to you about the dead skank. Made me feel like I wasn't totally to blame, yeah? You might not be as much of a psycho as I thought. Might be a heart beating behind that flat chest.
Why are you still cooking me? Why are you still cooking her? Unexpectedly, the brash and brazen girl beams at me brightly.
Putting you under 24-hour surveillance. Corpse Girl's gonna have to crack my skull open before she goes sticking her fingers into yours.
Tomoe, really, that's not necessary.
I can't figure out a way to convey that I'm not actually in any danger. Well, immediate danger at any rate. It's true that there is someone out there who wants me dead, badly enough to have requested it through the website. but as far as the threat of Corpse Girl coming to get me goes, I'm perfectly safe. I resign myself to simply staring blankly at Tomoe, the girl I hold so much disdain for. I know I should choose my next words carefully. Tomoe is prone to violent outbursts at even the best of times. I don't need you to protect me. Fuck off. Okay, I'll just piss her off. Thanks, but I'll be fine on my own is pretty good. I'd feel better with you looking after me. Fuck it. I guess we could have a friend. Fuck it. I like gals with big titties. Fuck it.
I'd feel better with you looking after me.
You're damn right. Ain't no one gonna protect you as good as me.
Let's fucking go. Tomoe reaches forward and ruffles my hair in a tomboyish manner. We're friends now. Oh my god. I grimace and bear it until she's satisfied and retracts her arm with a laugh.
What are we gonna do? I don't totally believe this corpse girl person really exists, but still. Something or other killed Akane Tsurumaki. Pretty sure it wasn't suicide. What with the photo and all. Since you got one of them photos too, I reckon someone's out to get you.
Yeah, about that.
How about we hunker down at my place after work? Gals night in, right? If someone tries to break down the door to get to you, I'll show them what's what.
She really is insistent. I almost can't believe this is the same girl that slapped me across the face last week. I feel like we could almost be friends at this rate, but what happens when she finds out I'm not actually in any danger? Would she think I used her? Betrayed her? What if she finds out that I'm Corpse Girl? That would probably be the trigger that provokes her into slashing my throat herself. Tired as I am and feeling weak of will, I simply nod.
Sure. Let's go to your place after work.
Yeah, that's what's up. We'll do a snack run, okay? Gotta have chocolate and cake on a night like this.
What? All of a sudden she freezes and stares intently into my eyes.
Shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's fine. Snacks sound good.
Hey, don't feel pressured to eat, okay? I got a big appetite, so nothing will go to waste.
We actually made friends with this girl. This is fucking ridiculous. She grins, looking proud of herself. My expression softens somewhat. Somehow, Tomoe is displaying the minimum amount of human decency, and yet it's very touching. We've somehow broken down a wall between us and removed the animosity that has hung in the air since the day we met. Suddenly, she reaches out her hand, the photograph held gently between her fingers.
Better you have it than me.
Looking down at the photo, it's pretty clear that it's me in the image. I suppose it would be the best to delete this evidence. I shred the photo carefully, making sure to completely destroy any of my defining features in the image. With the photo completely ripped beyond recognition, I toss it in a nearby bin. Tomoe smiles at me when we enter the office building side by side. We actually made friends with this girl. Holy fuck. Holy shit, her place is fire. Tomoe's apartment is not at all like I expected it would be. For starters, it's not an absolute trash heap like it always was in my mind's eye. The place is nice, fairly modern, and probably not that cheap. She lives on the outskirts of Shinjuku, so she's a lot closer to the office than I am. That probably explains why she's usually so punctual despite her terrible work ethic. From what I can gather from my first impressions, she lives alone. A few photo frames near the entrance feature some family members, including a younger brother and a sister. It's funny. She doesn't seem like the older sister type to me. Personal effects decorating the apartment aren't cheap and tacky, much to my surprise. I immediately get the feeling that she earns more money than I do, even though we have the same job, though how could that be? We're both simple data entry temps. We surely be on the same contract and the same salary. I suppose she is a little bit older than me. Maybe she had a well-paying job before starting work at Tomoe. Or maybe she has a side job. Either way, there's no way she could afford to live here on the same salary as me.
So, would you like a cup of tea? I've got oolong, green, barley, hojicha.
So many to choose from. I didn't take you as much of a tea drinker.
Well, of course I am. It's tradition, you know. Tradition's real important.
Huh. Yeah, I guess so. Hojicha for me, please.
Sure. Coming right up.
As Tomoe busies herself in the kitchen nook, I continue scanning the apartment. A fairly large TV sits atop a sleek cabinet against one wall of the living area. A comfortable looking sofa fills most of the room, but gives way to a small kotatsu in the corner. During winter, kotatsu is a very valuable piece of furniture. It's a small low table with a blanket to cover your legs. Underneath is a tiny space heater designed to warm up the enclosed area.
I like your kotatsu. I can't even fit one in my apartment.
Oh yeah, they're great, right? Dad actually made that one for me.
Your dad made it?
I look closely at it. I don't know much about woodwork, but the whole thing looks very solid and well made. Even the blanket spread underneath the table surface is pleasing to look at.
It's probably not cold enough to flick the heater on, but feel free to sit down there if you like.
No, that's okay. I'm warm enough.
A memory of my childhood flickers at the edges of my mind like a moth dancing around me. Oh, around a flame. Sitting at a kotatsu as a child with a warm cup of cocoa and my big sister reading a book aloud to me. I shake my head. That was too long ago to even attempt to remember clearly, and the past never really mattered to me anyway. Tomoe has finished pouring tea, so she sits 2 ceramic mugs atop the coffee table and calls out to me.
Tea's up!
Thank you.
I have to stop. I have to stop.
So, we gotta protect you from Corpse Girl, right?
Okay, this is good. I'm gonna take this picture, but I'm not gonna use it for now. I have to stop. We'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna continue this shit. I'm having too much fun. I'm gonna get up out of here, bro. I'm tired. I've been recording for almost 2 hours. We'll be back tomorrow. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, we move. I'll see you next time.